Hello everyone. So this will be your one-stop guide to master Ansible from absolute scratch to real-world automation project. So in this one-shot video, we'll learn what is Ansible, why Ansible is used in the industry when we have other tools such as Puppet or Chef, architecture of Ansible. So what's the difference between Ansible and other tools such as Puppet and Chef? We'll create servers. We will try to ping the servers, making use of the host system. So when we learn about the architecture of Ansible, we'll get to know how actually the servers are pinged, making use of the inventory file or the private key, SSH keys, and everything will be covered from scratch. So, what is Ansible? Ansible is an open source IT automation tool that manages configuration, deployment, and orchestration. It is agentless. It does use of SSH. Written in Python, uses YAML for playbook. So, Ansible is an open source IT automation tool in the sense there are a lot of open source contributions in the development of Ansible. Even the current market scenario of Ansible has a lot of open source contribution, and it is used to configure, deploy, and orchestrate the servers. So when we move on to the examples and implementation part, and while learning the architecture of Ansible, we'll get to know the actual meaning of the configuration management, making use of Ansible. This is agentless. We don't need any agent. Just the whole system has to be downloaded with Ansible software, and just by making use of the IP addresses and private keys of the servers storing in the host system will be making the automation possible. So this Ansible software is written in Python programming language. So as I said, it is an open source automation tool. So there are a lot of open source development going on with the Ansible, making use of Python programming language. So YAML is used for writing playbooks. So it's not like YAML is used to develop Ansible. It's like YAML is used to write playbooks, which is used for further automation process. So Ansible was, I mean, earlier acquired by Red Hat, and right now Red Hat is acquired by IBM. So right now Ansible comes under the product list of IBM. So why Ansible? Ansible is easy to learn and use because, like right now, we have certain modules developed within Ansible, so we can make use of those modules to implement the commands. And we have playbooks concept, so making use of YAML programming, not programming language, it's a serialization language. So making use of YAML, we can write playbooks, where we can automate certain tasks, processes. For an instance, we can automate the process of installing and running Nginx server, or installing and running Apache servers. Or if you want to just make the note of the uptime or the current date of particular system, even we can make use of ad hoc commands or modules. Also, we can write a small playbook wherein we can mention certain commands with the name in a particular format used in YAML. Let me make it more clear for you. So we have one center server. It's called as host system. So making use of the host system, you will configure the other servers. For instance, we have a system administrator. So in the past scenarios, it was like the system administrator had to configure each and every server manually. If he had to download particular software in any of the servers, he had to manually go and run the command to install the software. But right now, that's not the case. So you have Ansible. So you will be configuring each and every server to the host system. So using the host system, you will download, or I mean, uninstall anything by making use of the host system. So it has got the strong community support. So it has got integration with cloud and certain DevOps tools. So when I say YAML language, even Docker Compose makes use of YAML language, and even GitHub Action. But when it comes to other tools such as Puppet or Chef, it is DSL, it's domain specific language. So there are certain languages to be learned in order to implement tasks at particular tools. So when it comes to Ansible versus Puppet Chef, there are certain differences. The major difference is the architecture. So Puppet and Chef require agents. So when it comes to Puppet or Chef, there will be one central server wherein the configuration is stored. So each and every server has an agent. So that agent could be Puppet or Chef. So each and every server should be installed with Puppet or Chef, and the central server will be having the default configuration. So if I want to install particular configuration in a server, so it has to approach the central server, and central server will be giving the information regarding the configuration to the slave or the managed nodes. So particular managed nodes has got the agent. So based on the configuration available in the central server, so agent will be installing the configuration into the host system, into the managed nodes. So this is a bit complicated because each and every server should have their own agent, and also the programming language, the serializability language. So it has particular domain specific language, but Ansible uses YAML. It is like you don't have to learn any new language in order to learn writing playbooks or implementing playbooks. It's all the way simple, such as writing Docker compose file. Ansible is simpler to set up. So when we move on to the setup part of Ansible, we'll get to know what is the major difference between I mean, why it makes more simple for us to implement Ansible playbooks, or running commands, or setting up the inventory file, or the way we connect servers and host systems by making use of SSH keygen, adding the IP addresses of the server to the host system. We'll be automating everything from scratch. So Ansible is a push-based mechanism, Puppet and Chef are pull-based mechanism. In the sense, Ansible, the host system pushes the configuration, I mean pushes the updates to the server or systems. But in Puppet, it's like the current configuration of the servers will be pulled to the host system, which is the central server, wherein the default configuration will be stored. So once the configuration is pulled, based on the differences in the configuration or the way it has to be updated, the agents will be updating the servers based on the configuration available. Architecture of Ansible. So there will be one control node, in the sense the host system, managed nodes in the sense the servers. So one the center control node will have the Ansible software. Control nodes private key will be stored in the authorized key of managed nodes. So inventory file is where the private IP addresses of the managed node will be stored in the control node. Modules are certain pre-built functions or modules written in order to automate the simpler tasks. So you don't have to write hard code the commands or things like that. Playbooks is like the when you have to automate a set of tasks. So you will write playbooks instead of running commands. So directly we'll move on to the implementation part. Oh, I forgot to say one thing, that in this particular one shot video, we'll be setting up the AWS EC2 instance, where we'll be selecting Ubuntu server and running all projects or commands. The whole implementation part will be run on AWS EC2 instance, and we'll be writing major two playbooks. One will be the simple one, where we'll be collecting the uptime and time of the server, and one more will be installing and running the Apache server. This is a bit intermediate project compared to the previous one. So we'll move on to the AWS EC2 instance. So this is the interface. What we see here is the AWS EC2 instance interface. We'll move on to the instances and create. Right now, I will take. So we'll delete these two instances. So this is where I practiced earlier. It will take some few seconds to delete. Now you can see it's shutting down. So we'll create two servers. One will be the host system. One will be the so let me make it clear that I won't use host node. It's like one is control node and others are managed nodes. So control node is the host system where in Ansible is installed. It's like the master, and managed nodes are the slaves. So yeah, this will be the uh, control node. I will select the Ubuntu server, let it be default. Don't change anything. So we are not paying anything for the service here. It is free tier. We'll be generating the key in order to have SSH connection. So sorry. So this is like control node key, create a key pair. The key is downloaded. Keep everything default. Don't change anything, and we'll launch this instance. Instances. Yeah. So this will be the other server managed node. So we'll be selecting Ubuntu here as well. We'll create one more new key pair to not managed. Okay, managed node key. So I will launch the instance. So when we go to the instances page, so you see these two instances are terminated. So it will take some time to disappear from the page column. So I will connect. So the current control node is running and it's run. Yeah, both instances are running. So in command prompt, we'll be doing SSH connection of two servers. So it's like even you can run in the particular AWS terminal, but it's good to make use of command prompt because you'll get to know how SSH connection is made in command prompt. So first I will go with control node and instance state sorry connect. You see, if you want to run in AWS terminal, then you can use this EC2 instance connect. So right now we are going through SSH client, so we'll copy the SSH. This is the SSH command we're supposed to run. Before running the command, we will have to change the directory to downloads because this is where the private key is stored. So then run this command. It will ask for your permission. Yes, yeah, you can see here. So from the local command prompt, you are connected to the remote server, the control node of AWS EC2 instance. So I will rename this as control node and we'll create one more for managed node. CS to downloads, where this is where the SSH key is stored. So we are supposed to go to the download folder so it can access directly. If not, then you are supposed to give the path of downloads right here. So don't make it too complicated. Just change the directory to downloads and press enter. So it asks for the permission. Give us yes, it is connected. So we'll rename this as managed node. So there are two terminals. One is control node, one is managed node. You can see the IP, the difference in the IP address. So it's like 172.31.85.133, 172.31.89.7 under particular subnet. So you don't have to think about it. So we'll go with the implementation part. So let me before writing any command or playbook, I would like to give an intuitive explanation regarding inventory, uh, playbooks, and tasks. So, firstly, we'll download the Ansible in the control node. Then we'll move on to these three, the definition of these three topics or these three terms. So, before it's not like directly you will run a command to install Ansible. Since it is written in a Python programming language, you're supposed to add a repository to the I mean to the server I mean to the control node. When you add the repository to the control node, after adding the repository, you are supposed to run a command, which is sudo apt command. So we'll add the repository. So it's like sudo apt add repository ppa Ansible. So right now I'm referring the documentation of Ansible to. So sorry, my bad. So this is the repository of Ansi. Oh, what is the spelling? So these are the minor mistakes that you should take care of. Yeah, press enter to continue. So the particular repository of Ansible is added to the host system or the control node. Takes few seconds to add the repository. So if you ask me like, "Oh, how do you know regarding the repository?" It's like all documentation. So there are two ways. One is making use of pip command. So making use of pip command, you can install the repository within the control node or host system. So next command will be sudo apt install Ansible. As simple as this. Let me maximize the screen. So everything I have been writing here is in the control node, not in the manage node. So manage node, we'll see that later once we are done with the installation part of Ansible. It will take few seconds, so have patience until we are done with the installation process. Yeah, clear. So if you use clear command, it will clear the whole screen. Let's check whether Ansible is installed properly or not. So we have the current version of Ansible, Ansible Core 2.18.8. So Ansible is ready. So we'll learn what are these things. So inventory, playbooks, and tasks. Inventory in the sense, so there should be certain things saying that this is the host system, this is our system. So the private IP addresses managed nodes will be stored in the host system, that is control node. For that reason, we need a file. It's called as inventory file. Playbooks in the sense the of before going to playbooks, let me give an example for task. It's like individual work. For example, if you want to ping a server, it's an individual work, so it's called as task. So if you are implementing more than one task, so we are supposed to write playbooks for that. It's like set of tasks is written in the form of playbooks. Inventory in the sense the IP addresses of the servers is stored in the host system. We need a particular file to store the IP addresses, right? So that's where inventory comes into picture. I will show in the implementation, but so you'll have more clear idea regarding the inventory file, playbooks, and tasks. Yeah. So we'll do all the setup starting from now. Clear. First, you're supposed to create a private key by making use of one particular command. It's called as SSH key gen. When you run this command, so enter file in which to save. So I would prefer this particular path. Yeah, no paraphrase is required. No paraphrase is required. So in this particular path, the private key and public key will be generated. It's like by means of SSH, you are generating private and public key and also authorized keys. If I do, oh, so yeah. So we have uh this didn't work because this is not a directory, this is a file. So we're supposed to use only directories, not files, making use of cd command. So right now we have, let me give cd I dot pub. So this public key, you see this particular public key. And if I want to see cat authorized key, we have this authorized key for control node, as well as we can see the private key. So this is the open SSH private key. So for now, just copy the public key. Right, let me make it clear. Ls we'll have the list of keys here. So cat id dot pub. Copy this particular key from this file. Go to manage node. Do the same thing, SSH keygen. Keep it all default and move to cd. Yeah, home ubuntu dot ssh dot ssh, and I hope it is visible. Let's open authorized keys over here, making use of Vim editor. So if you click I, it will go to the insert mode. So you're supposed to scroll to the next part. So we have to paste the public key of the control node to the managed node over here. Click escape colon as extensions save and exit. Let's check once. Cat authorized key. Let us check whether it's connected or not. Before that, we are supposed to create an inventory file. So we'll move out of this directory. We'll create a folder and Ansible one shot. CD Ansible one shot. Ls nothing's there. So next there comes the inventory file. Inventory. Vim will create the inventory file wherein instances, the IP addresses of control node, the private IP addresses of the control node should be not control, sorry. So working with the managed node, right? So private IP address of the managed node should be stored in the inventory file over here. Oh, right. So run this command again, Vim inventory. Yeah, go to insert mode. So I forgot to click I to move on to the insert mode. So we can create a group of servers as well. So right now I will give it as web servers. If you have more than one group, then you can create one more group over here, like adding it as production or something like that. So right now we are working with only one server, so only one group is enough. So click on escape and X. So we'll write a basic Ansible ad hoc command, Ansible command. Keep it right again. So we have this particular warning here. You can ignore this warning, but let us debug this warning as well. You can create variables as well in it's like all. It's applicable to each and every group present over just over the variable table where so these variables are created to each and every group. So Ansible Python interpreter. So we're going user win Python user win Python 3. So escape X. So this is the Python model it was asking it's asking for. You know, as it is giving us a warning. So when I run this, so I hope we don't get we didn't get the particular warning we did get earlier. Yeah, so we are done with the picking part. So we have connected the server making use of the host system. Next we'll move on to the basic ad hoc commands. So we can run basic ad hoc commands such as if you want to update the server making use of Ansible module, you can get Ansible minus hyphen I inventory web servers. If you want to write command, you should write it in between the double quotes or single quote, double quotes preferred. Sudo apt update. Um, oh, minus it's dot command. So I think it should be written somewhere here. Yeah, this should work. So the current server is updated here. Type in one more command. It's like gives you a df. Yeah, this is the disk space of the server. One more command. It's like free free space of sh. Yeah, this works. Next, we'll go to the next part. Yeah, this should work. I insert mode. The hyphen follow the indentation one, and it's so the name of the playbooks is like show uptime and disk space of the server. Disk space of the server, and the next is like the hosts. So right now we have only one group of servers, so we are giving web servers. So the host, the IP addresses that are considered to run this playbook. And if you want to uh, run such commands, you should become root. So it's like if you want to become root, yes, I want to become the root. So only if you have root access, then you can run certain commands. So it's good, always good to give the root access while running playbooks. And tasks that are mentioned here. So the first task would be hyphen name, show uptime of the server, the command name. So just the command to show the uptime of the server is uptime. That's it. And the next task is show the disk space of the system. Show the disk space of the system or server. The command used here is df. So that's all. So in order to run certain commands, you should have the root access. So for that reason, it's like become yes. So if are you willing to become the root server? So it's like yes, showing the uptime of the server command used there is uptime, and showing the disk space of the system command is df. So starting with name, host, giving root access, making use of become parameter tasks. In task, you are mentioning the name and command and name and command. Escape tasks, save and exit. So the command used to run the playbook is Ansible playbook minus I inventory inventory where the playbook has to refer the private IP addresses of the server systems or managed nodes, and minus L servers space first. It's like this is the particular default syntax to run the playbook. Ansible playbook minus I inventory hyphen I inventory. So I don't know why I'm using minus again, hyphen I inventory. It's mentioned like the particular inventory file present. So it's not present in the current directory. So we should move back to Ansible one, I think it's one shot, yeah, it's just proper. So either you can go back and add playbooks folder instead of adding one shot Ansible. Okay, that's it. So Ansible playbook is the syntax to run the playbook. Hyphen I is to match with the particular inventory file with the same name. Hyphen L is the list of servers. So you're supposed to run the group of servers. It's not servers, right? No, it's web servers, right? So web servers. And then the playbook, what the hell? It's happening. So the playbook to refer is playbook first playbook.yml. So we are not running this command in this directory. So we are going back to the previous directory and running it over there. So just copied the command cd. So running this here could not be found. So ls playbooks pw. Okay, it's playbooks, not playbook. So let me paste the command. It's playbooks, not playbook. Yeah, run the command. So showing uptime displays. So, but you can't see any output here mentioning the day uptime or the displays. That's because you don't have the verbose defined over here. So let me define the verbose somewhere here. Yeah, I think that should work. Yeah, it's all visible right in front of you people. So the uptime of the system, yeah, this is the uptime. It's like 21 minutes, 47 seconds, and 14 milliseconds. And this is the disk space of the server or managed nodes, whatever. So yeah, as easy as you see. So this is the first playbook. So we'll move on to the next playbook. So we'll be installing and running Apache server. CD playbooks. As right now we have one first playbook. Next is Apache. Yeah, Apache dot YAML file. Oh, sorry, I forgot to give one. Click I for insert mode. Start with indentation one hyphen name, install and start Apache website, install and start Apache web server. So next we are giving the hosts. Its hosts are web servers. Next, are you willing to become the root? Become the root? Yes, I am willing to become the root and have all the access. Next tasks. So name the first task is to installing Apache. Installing ACH. So for running particular command, we do use of command parameter. So right now we are installing something on the server node. So we have particular parameter called as apt. It's like sudo apt install, the same apt. Name Apache 2 is the command to install the package, and the current state would be present. Particular current state of Apache will be downloaded and will be installed. Present. Present. This is the first task. Next task. would be start Apache, same apt module, so Apache 2 is the command to run the Apache. When state is started, enable, yes, you're enabling the Apache server. Yeah, we're done. Next, running the playbook, Ansible playbook hyphen I inventory. Next, there comes, any guess, we already written the previous command. Just it's all same. Hyphen L web servers and the playbook name. It's like Apache. Enter. Installing and no hosts match. Why is it like that? Oh, so we're in the current playbook directory. Go back and this command. Just give the path of the playbook. Playbooks, not playbook. Yes, done. Installing and starting Apache. So we are connected to the particular server managed node. So right now it's installing Apache in the managed node 172.31.89.7. Yeah, change. So we see some failures over here. So your installation is done, but starting it's unable to start Apache. Okay, it must be one. Yeah. So I think there's a small mistake over here. So to start, it's not apt. Only to install particular software or module, you do use of apt command parameter. To start, we do use of service. So escape, save and exit. Now run the command. It should work now. Yeah, here the managed node IP address, private IP address. Will run this private IP address, not private, sorry, public IP address. There is a reason that it's not running. Move to the security group because we are not given the permission to the security group to have the access, port access. So edit inbound rules, add a rule, custom port number, ID, yeah, save the rule. So I think it should work now. Yeah, J2 default page. So you can see the static page of Apache server. It's running. So this command is working right now. So this is all about Ansible from scratch to intermediate level.